So here we are in the beautiful south of France. The weather is perfect, and we're here to take a look at the McLaren GT. Now, McLaren claims it's changing the rules of Grand Touring cars with this car. Now, the engine remains where you'd expect it in the McLaren. It's a mid-mounted GT car, which is something that we're not used to seeing. Now, during the presentation, the focus was a lot on the GT element of this car. But I'm here to tell you that the McLaren DNA part is alive and present. And I'd like to take you a little bit on a walk around this car to take a look at where we see that. Now, the car is very recognizable as a McLaren. From this element right here in the front, which splits the air, is an element that we've seen in the 570S and as well in the Ultimate Series Speedtail. If we take a look on the sides, the side mirrors are something that we're used to. We have the dihedral doors, a feature of McLaren's. The scoop right here reminds me a lot of the Senna. It's kind of a softer, more toned down intake on this side. Now, if we take a look at the back, this part is absolutely breathtaking for me. We have a return to the horizontal taillights, something that we've seen in the 12C, the 650S, and the 675. And the exhausts are actually farther out, and that is for a very specific intention, because you'll be standing here to open this tailgate that we'll come to in a minute. But the exhaust note, I can comfortably say that this sounds the best in the McLaren range. And new to this is a valve that actually switches whenever you turn it to sports mode, and the exhaust note just has to be heard to be believed. Let's take a look at this. So with a long press of the key fob, you have this automated tailgate that showcases one of the main features of the GT, cargo space. This car is designed to travel at great comfort with a lot of utility and be able to do it with speed in McLaren style. A lot of forged carbon elements over here. The capacity in this is mind-boggling. We've seen demonstrations of full sets of golf clubs going in here. Don't forget, we have a fully functional front trunk as well. There are other changes in terms of the interior as well. So the quality, it's something that McLaren wants to do and showcase in their very own way. So you won't see any kind of wood veneers anywhere, but the materials chosen do exude quality and luxury. So here we are in a very, very comfortable environment. The seats are plush. The leather chosen is very, very impressive. And we have a new infotainment system that is a lot faster, and it's very kind of smartphone-like. So you have a very, very quick response on the touch. So the new machined gear shift selectors on the column-mounted style that we're used to from McLaren are a new feature as well. We have a very interesting ambient light element right here. So once it's turned on, you can see an element that is not visible otherwise behind this element and over here on this door trim as well. The electrochromatic sunroof is here as well. So with a touch of a button, you can go from opaque to translucent, which is very handy indeed. Now, the lift on this car is almost unnecessary. We drove a good distance without having to engage it, hitting speed bumps with no problem whatsoever. So there's very, very nice ground clearance as well. And as an added convenience, you have the cup holders here, but a very nice addition are these slits on the side that you can actually slide your smartphone in. So you don't have to typically use the cup holder for a smartphone. Very, very nice addition. So, I've been talking about what this car is all about, but I'm sure what you guys want to know is, what does it drive like? Well, when we first rolled out in it, we set it to comfort. So comfort in the handling department and the same for the powertrain. And it is such a nice, smooth, relaxing drive. And that is what we thought the car was intended to do. But the focus during the briefing and everything I've read about the car ever since the announcement is that this is a GT car. This is a GT car. It's continent crossing capability and comfort. Now, in that presentation was also mention of how important the McLaren DNA is. And what I want to say is it depends on how you want to drive this car, because once you go into sport mode, the exhaust note changes, and once you put your foot down, oh boy does this car move. And the shocker for me was actually moving it into track and track mode, where this car remembers that it has a sibling called the long tail. The car starts to bounce and gives you all sorts of feedback on the road surface, and the upshifts and the downshifts, and you just instantaneous response. Listen to that. Woo! Absolute smile planted on my face. It is such a joy to drive this car, and I can fully see it, holding its weight on a circuit just as well as it would on a highway crossing from one country to another. I really do believe that McLaren have indeed written new rules for the GT segment, and I believe firmly that they have a winner on their hands.